All right, I think I got this to work right. You should be able to see my screen now, guys. Yeah, this is the first time I've done a live stream, so there's a little bit of a learning curve for me, but I just wanted to sort of walk through some of my projects that I'm currently working on, and just sort of I don't know, just sort of like break down my process, I guess you could say. So let's see if I can share my screen now. Okay, you should be seeing my screen now. If not, let me know. All right, so this project here is some work I'm doing for a friend and her yoga coalition company. So the idea behind these were that they kind of liked vibrant colors, and they wanted something that basically could look good on like a shirt or even like some tote bags. I have mocked up here. I think it's always like really helpful to, when you're presenting ideas, to actually show how they're going to actually lay out on a physical bag or a t-shirt or, whatever. Maybe it's a coaster. In this case, I just put it on some tote bags because I thought it could really help to visualize, maybe like you're going to yoga class and you want to throw some stuff into one of these bags. But this is how I like lay out most of my work. I'll show what the main logo icon is. Maybe there's a logo type just by itself, and then sort of mixing in the colors and showing how they all work together. So this one's pretty simple. You can, use it as like a badge, but then you also have the option to kind of just use like some type treatment here. So that was kind of fun. It's like a little rising sun. And then we've got more of like a geometric treatment that I made. I just kind of went in with the pen tool and made these like custom letters. These fonts aren't loading right properly, but I'll show you what that actually looks like. It's like a condensed font that I'm using for that. And then this one's kind of cool too. It's just like another geometric style design. I don't know, with these ones, like I just wanted to keep them very clean, so that you can do something like this where you just kind of like immediately see, because it's kind of a longer title. You've got the Yoga Professionals Coalition, so it can always be sort of tricky when you're working with longer titles for brands, but there's always typically a solution you can find. All right, I wonder if I can see what you guys are saying to me, because right now I can only see my screen. Hold on. Bear with me, guys. I want to see what you guys are saying. So let me like see if I can pull up the chat. Live streaming. Sorry, this is probably really boring right now because I'm trying to figure out some stuff here. YouTube makes it really weird to live stream. All right, well, I'm not going to worry about that. You guys are just going to have to watch because I can't see what you're saying right now. But let's open up something else that I've been working on. Lab of Human. Okay. So this is another project I worked on just recently. A buddy of mine is starting a brand for. Sorry, my fonts aren't loading properly right now. I just got this new iMac, so that's why I don't have all my fonts installed. But that's typically what will happen when you don't have your fonts installed. I know we've all seen that, but yeah. So this is a Lab of Human. It's an athleisure brand that a buddy of mine is starting. So he's going to use this for basically like the logo that could be printed like on the actual clothing. So I wanted to, in all of these options, I wanted to keep something that would really translate well to an article of clothing. So maybe you have this as like a tag that's printed like on the sleeve, or like maybe even like a pocket design or something like that. Same with these ones. You've got H. And when I do these like branding projects, like I always try to keep, I want like a good variety, but I also want them all to be sort of like in the same sense of like minimal, clean, and like something that can translate well on like business cards, t-shirts, clothing itself, you know. So that's what I try to keep in mind, is that I always wanted some sort of logo icon that you could use. You know, think of like the Vans logo, or, you know, what else can I think of? Like the Nike logo. You have that swoosh that you can put everywhere. So in these cases, like that would be your Nike swoosh, you know, this little kind of A, futuristic A. This one's very, this one's like super athletic and sort of futuristic, I think. I feel like I've probably seen like a lot of this sort of stuff been done, but like I try to make it a little bit more interesting with the cutout and the two colors here. But this one's kind of fun too. It feels very like, this one feels very masculine, I think, just because of like the rigid edges and things like that. We've got some cool colors here. But I like to show, so I like to show the different treatments of the logo up here. Then I also like to apply it to color to see how the silhouette looks. I think that's really important as you're designing. You want to know, like, does it read well on top of like a dark color like this? And then also, can't see the screen? Okay, one second. I am messing up, guys. I'm sorry. Let me share my screen. Okay, sorry for everybody that like watched me just look like an idiot right now. Okay, cool. So can you guys see the screen now? Let's just make sure. All right, you guys should be able to see that. All right, thanks, Dirk Diggler. All right, let me just walk back from the very beginning, because I kind of like started here. So yeah, this is a Lab of Human branding project that I've been working on. This is actually the one that was selected. It's like this sort of like minimal lowercase font. We've got this sort of, you know, abstract shapes here that actually make up the H. So at first it just kind of looks like shapes, but I think it's kind of cool that it actually, like the circle and the lines make up the actual H mark. And then you've got the treatment wide, you've got the treatment stacked, and then you've got the treatment stacked with the icon. So there's a few different ways you could use it. And again, what I was saying is, like, I always like to treat these different ways and see how, you know, how does it lay out on a dark color? How does it lay out on, you know, lighter colors and things like that? So you kind of have this little system going on. So it basically just goes like, it really helps the client to visualize like the different treatments when you do something like this. And it lets you know if it's successful in its design. So I really like just doing this, because for me, it works for me. I think it's very, very easy to articulate to a client, like how it lays out. And like here you go, you have your wide version, you have your icon, you've got your stacked with the icon, and then you've got just your logo type. So I kind of try to make that like a habit whenever I'm designing, is like, what are all these going to look like? You know, what is your logo icon? What is your primary logo? What is your stacked? Because, you know, there's always going to be different ways that you are going to have to treat this. You know, like you might have a website, you probably use this. And then maybe in the footer, as this, say you scroll down, maybe the type goes away and it's just the icon. You know, think of this as like your app icon. You always want to have something simplistic like that can translate on different channels and things like that. You know, maybe this is even like your favicon when you're like in a website. That's your favicon. You always want to have something like, even like the Apple logo itself. Like you've got the Apple by itself, which is pretty self-explanatory. And you know, when you pull back, it's still very, you know, if we're looking just at this, if I delete this, from afar, you can still kind of see what that is, you know? So you always want to kind of test that when you're designing, like take a step back, zoom out, see what you're doing. And then I always like to show some sort of like way that it's like represented on like a print thing. So like in this case, I showed them business cards, you know, like you could use it bottom right corner, you can use it on top of this color. It just really helps to sell your ideas, and it makes it look way more professional, I think. So highly recommend when you're showing your logos off, you know, this looks all great and sexy and things like that, but take it a step further and show it, you know, applied to something. So I think on that other one that I showed you, you know, this is on like some tote bags, the YPC, the Yoga Professionals Coalition. It just really adds that like little extra flair, I think, when you're presenting. So that you kind of like, I don't know, you see like how it's gonna like end up, you know. What else do I got for you guys? You saw the lab of human. All right, I'm terrible at live streaming. Obviously, this is my first one, so never know if you don't try it, though, right? Oh, I also made a mood board. So let me pull that up. Maybe I can share my entire screen with you guys. All right, share entire screen. All right. So here's a mood board that I made for that brand. So we actually went with this like darker color. I think in the Illustrator you guys saw like a slightly lighter version, but this is basically a jumping off point or sort of like a visual representation of like how you could take the brand direction. So very clean lines, very minimal, it's lowercase, photography styles, you know, like with this brand, I kind of pictured a very clean, airy, sort of bright look and feel. Because the colors that we've selected here are, you know, like your royal blue, some like lighter grays, even some like beige tans. Here's maybe some like examples of how you could use the photography with some type treatments. And then you got the logo up here. So this is just sort of kind of getting the feet wet and just understanding, you know, the visual applications of this brand. You know, maybe you've got the little logo on the guy's shirt like that. Perhaps this logo could even be like right here on the bottom of his hoodie. So it's just to sort of get those creative juices flowing and sort of like, I don't know, like basically get to a point where there's some direction going on so that when website development happens or, you know, when clothes start to get printed, like at least this is sort of like the end application that you're going to sort of build towards. So mood boards are fun. I highly recommend that you make these as well. What else can I show you guys? Prime shrimp. This is some new stuff I'm working on for a friend, shrimp company. So this is a fun little shrimpy that I made. Seeing how it kind of lays out on different colors. And again, like I sort of change up the way I present on like different, you know, I always have at least like a mark. You know, this is like a wider one on both sides. Here's another version. These are still pretty rough. I'm still working on them, but again, you can kind of see like when you're in this branding process, you can just kind of like lay out a bunch of different artboards and just play around, see what works, see what doesn't work. It's kind of fun. See, with this one, I made these like rounded edges, so I wanted the type to also be round, sort of like fit within that same look and feel. All right, let's check this chat. Awesome stuff. How did you come up with different color palettes? Did you use Color Scheme Generator? Yes. So I actually use this this right here. Colors. It's coolers.co. So you guys can check this out. I'll flip through here a lot of the times and just see what stands out to me. So like this one's pretty cool. And like you can go in and just like copy these. But honestly, what I'll do is I'll just screenshot. I'll just go like this. And then I'll just plop that straight into Illustrator so that I can just sample it that way. So let's just try this out. Oops. See, they're grouped right now, so I'm gonna zoom in. Let's try white. I don't know if I like that blue. Looks a little too like startup-y or something, but you get the idea. Sorry, I'm having to like switch back and forth between my my chat. I need a second monitor for this, for reals. Whoa. There's definitely a learning curve. I'm guessing you guys can see all of this, right? All right. Let me Control Z that because I don't like that color. But let's keep that there because maybe I'll try those later. Yeah, so these are just some different treatments. I just think it's really important to have, you know, when you're doing like modern branding, like you got to have something like this, something that you can use as like your app icon or your favicon. Like you always got to think of that, you know, and then you have your more like elaborate, you know, type with your icon design. And then there's always like exceptions. Like you could have even like a more, let me open up this other one. I had a more of like an elaborate version of this. This could be like a t-shirt design or something. So like you could still do stuff where you like make it a little bit more involved and, you know, this is, see, when I'm branding, this is what I do. Like I'll have my color palettes like this and I'll just try stuff out. So it's like, there's no right or wrong at this point. You're just kind of like fleshing out ideas and seeing what works. See, I'm just playing around with different layouts, maybe stacking the text and stuff like that. Can you post this? Do you sketch your logos? Ralph and Real says, do you sketch your logos? Yeah, a lot of times I do. For this particular project, I've been working pretty fast because the client wants it pretty quickly. So I didn't actually sketch any of these, but normally, yes, I will sketch. For like the Lab of Human stuff, all this, I was sketching these out in my notebook. Same with this YPC. Like I was just kind of playing around, like especially this one. This is like custom. I made this with like the pen tool because they like geometric shapes and stuff. So like, all right, I could play with basic shapes and just see what works. So like definitely the YPC and also the Lab of Human I did a lot of sketches with. Not the shrimp one because I knew I could use just basic shapes. Here, I'll show you how I made this little shrimpy. You get leads. I do a lot of like free work. So like if I like a client's like project, like if I really want to work on it, sometimes I'll do stuff for free just to sort of get that in my portfolio. And then people remember like, oh, like Cody did such a good job with this. Like they recommend you to their friends. So it's kind of like word of mouth, but it's also honestly through like the YouTube channel, I've been getting people that reach out to me because they've seen some of my videos. So that was sort of like an unknown like lead generator actually. But yeah, just doing good work for people and just kind of being around and you know, being a really good communicator. I think people are going to want to work with you again, or at least like recommend you. So like for this Lab of Human one, because I did this for this guy, he's like, hey, can I recommend you to your friends or to my friends so I can like, you know, they've got similar things that they want to work on and, you know, you did a good job with this. So it's sort of just like, it can be different for everything. You know what I mean? Like the more you work on this stuff, people see that you're doing it. Like I post a lot of stuff on my Instagram as well. People will just reach out because they see me doing it. So I think it's just a matter of putting in the work and people are going to see that you're consistently working on stuff. Okay, yeah, I was going to show you how I made that little shrimp. So let's go back to, so like for this guy, I made a circle. And then I believe I grabbed like this line tool and then I made white, made it white. Probably went to like 10 points or something like that. Then you grab your rotation tool and then basically you rotate it, hold shift. So it makes it like a 45-degree angle there and then hit Alt and it duplicates it. After that, just hit Command D. It goes all the way around. And then from here, I think I expanded it, fill and stroke, yep. So now these are all like, they're not strokes anymore, they're actually just shapes. And then I went down to my Pathfinder here, oops. And I kind of use this divide, it's basically like a cookie cutter. So it just, you can't really see it, but it basically just separated all of these. So now if I go in and just delete all the white parts, so go to select, same fill and stroke, it'll select all of those. Go ahead and delete those. Now you're left with just this like this wheel. And then I think I deleted just like half the sides. Then let's see. you select all these, see how you got these little like circles right here? That allows you to round your corners. So as long as you have your direct selection tool selected, if you just hit A, you can go ahead and just round these. So like you can just pick like, all right, do I want 0.19? I think I did something soft like 0.1 or 2. Yeah. So that kind of looks like a little lime or something, right? Like a little lemon. But if you just select a few of these, you can like shrink them down holding shift and kind of like stagger them. It's kind of like a little like roly-poly or something. So yeah, I was just kind of playing around with stuff like this, and okay, that kind of looks like a little abstract shrimp. Where did you get those mock-ups? Graphicburger.com. This is my go-to spot right here, guys. You got to get on Graphic Burger. It's always just awesome to show people like stuff on mock-ups. Like even if it doesn't, like this is where I got that those business cards. But even like throwing like your design on a shirt is fun, you know. Just think about like if you were the client, like what would you want to see, you know? Like a lot of people will just show like logos, and then like you don't actually like have any context of like what that would actually look like, you know. Maybe I can just do this. Thanks for being patient with me, guys, with this new live stream thing. I've been wanting to do one of these for a while, but I haven't actually found the time, but now I did. So how do you go back selecting colors? Yeah, I already answered that. Can you post this? What do you mean, can I post this? Like, am I going to post this to my channel? Yeah, I probably will. Yeah. Sure, Surah Al-Sanea. I'm probably butchering that. Sorry. Yeah, I think I can post this on my channel just so you can get like a recap. I'll probably have to edit it because I did a horrible job at the very beginning. Let's see what else we got. Here's the dog-friendly SoCal stuff that I was working on. Let me just pull up. Yeah, so here's another one. This is for a dog-friendly meetup in San Diego that basically my friend Shannon runs it, and really awesome meetup for people that have dogs that want to go out and like do hikes that you can bring your dog to. So this is some of the different options that I put together. So this is a slightly different layout than what you guys saw over here. As I brand and do more projects, I started like evolving the way that I present them. I thought this was nice, but sometimes it's nice to have like the different thing. Like these are all badges, so I guess this works because you don't need necessarily the same type of layout as this. With badges, they're pretty much just badges, you know. That's like what I got hired to do. So, but the idea with this one was that she wanted something that represented like Southern California, but also like nature and the woods. And this one's definitely more like tropical and beachy, so you don't really get that like wilderness vibe. But you know, this one does a good job, I think, at like encompassing the water and the sun and the mountains and all that stuff. This one's cool. It's tough because it's like so many colors. I tend to lean towards ones that are like a little bit more minimal, like this, that you could just knock out in one color. But this is only like the first round, and like I showed a lot of this stuff on church just to kind of show like, and these are very rough, you know. It's just like maybe you could throw them on some V-necks or something, right? Hold on, let me pull up my chat. Are you planning on doing a UI UX design stream? Yeah, I don't see why not. I'll have to set up something for that, but definitely. I think I'm just, like I said, I'm just trying to get my feet wet with this whole live streaming thing all together. Let me yeah, so I think that I want to do a bunch of different types of live streams. Like this is just the first one I've ever done. So still trying to figure it all out. Like there's so many things I need to like plan out better, I think. But I felt like it's better to show something than nothing, right? But yeah, if I do a UI UX design stream, like I guess I could do like an app or something, right? Like some sort of like e-commerce app, or I don't know, like I'll take recommendations if you guys have any ideas for like what you want to see, but we could do like Adobe XD or Sketch or something like that. Vision Studio is fun. I'm still learning that one. All right, what else can I show you guys? I'm sorry if this is boring, by the way. Let me share my screen again. Oh, I could actually show you some UI UX stuff right now if you guys want to see some of that. Critiquing. Here, this is an app that I did for a guy who is starting his own like massage app for like athletes that play like basketball and like they have like pain in their back or whatever. So this is like just a kind of rough concepts that you could use to like pitch the concept. So you've got your massage screen where you can select like your front or back area, and then you go in, you select the region that hurts, and then you'd be like, all right, cool, I'm going to target like this left side of the muscle here. So you click that and apply basically like your massage intensity. You can like scroll this left and right. You could apply your different heat. I think I have the heat in here somewhere. Yeah, this is all in Sketch, I believe. And I used InVision to kind of like link it all together. But yeah, so there's a bunch of UI UX stuff I could talk about. I think I started with like wires. Yeah, these are my like rough wires. I try to do like when I'm doing wireframes, I'll typically do like high fidelity just because it's easier to sort of like go in and just like style all the wires that you made. So it's like you're not doing double work at that point. You're kind of setting yourself up to just basically like get it all done in one pass, sort of. How many of there are you in here? But yeah, so that's the dog friendly SoCal. It then evolved to like, so that was like the first round. It had then evolved to this, which I think is awesome because the dogs in the other one that you saw like did not really reflect her dog. So we made it look more so like her actual dog. Can you guys see this? Okay, cool. Because she has a Vizsla dog, so this is like her Vizsla dog. But yeah, and then I actually have, I could show you guys this. What font is that? For the dog-friendly SoCal? I don't remember. I think it's like Evo Guria or something like that. But this is the stop. This is the actual little badge. If you can see that. It's a sticker that she sent me, so I'm pretty stoked on this. I wanted them to be like be cool to like make a little coaster too, if you drink beer or something. Yeah, let me see what else we've got. What else do I show you guys? I'm trying to show you some of the branding stuff. I think I have stuff on my other hard drive, but hey, that's not bad for the first stream, right? I got to show you some of my branding stuff that I'm working on. Does anybody have any questions before I sign off here? I think it's Evo Goria or Evo Gora is the font. I'm pretty sure. I think I have it on my computer. Let's see. Share my screen again. Let's see. Evo. Okay, let's just see. Dog friendly. Let's see if it's Evo. Evo Gria. I think it's this font. I just like rounded it a little bit more. How do you defeat an art block? Ooh. How do I grow a sweet stash? Daniel Dufford. Well, Daniel, I think you know. You've got an awesome beard. You guys got to see. Okay, let's pull up Danny's work real quick. He's gonna hate this. Danny Dufford. And I'm gonna answer that other question about the art block. Okay, so this is my buddy Danny. He is awesome. Check out his illustration work, guys. Okay, how do you defeat an art block? Go look at your friend's work and just be like, damn, like, ask these guys. No, Danny's an awesome illustrator, concept artist, storyboard artist. And, you know, I think for me, it's always important to have like friends that inspire you. Like this guy is just on another level. And, you know, like, how does this guy defeat art blocks? Like, how do you defeat art blocks, Danny? Let's see. Let's go back to that that chat. Sorry, I'm still figuring this screen out. Dude, I am the worst with this live stream, guys. Forgive me. One second. But for real, like, how do I defeat art blocks? Like, I just get away from the computer. I'll go, like, today I went surfing because I was working on that shrimp stuff, and I didn't feel like, I felt like I was kind of getting burnt out a little bit. And I was like, all right, like, I'm not adding anything new. Like, sometimes you have some options that are like just not as strong as you had hoped. So just getting away from the computer and going on a run or go surfing or something like that. Like, that's what I usually do. Or like go sit in a coffee shop, bring your sketchbook. Like maybe you need to sketch some ideas out instead of designing in the software, you know, like I think like everybody has that like thing that they can do to kind of like just step away and, you know, get in your zone. If you're also feeling like you're just not inspired, like throw some music on that maybe evokes a certain emotion for you. I don't know. Like my way isn't the way that's going to work for everybody. You know what I mean? So I think just like find that thing that you can do to sort of just get away. But yeah, check out Danny Dufford's stuff. He's awesome. How do I get back to that screen where I saw all of the chat? 1 second, guys. I'm trying to get back to this. Here we go. Yeah, dude, go on walks, look at Pinterest, or listen to Cody's other videos. What is art block? Art block is like if you're blocked in your head, like you can't, like it's like writer's block, you know, but for designers, I guess. You're just not feeling creative or making anything. Okay, yeah, Mooney. That's the great way to put it. Sometimes I think quiet is good, and other times I think I need music to continue. Yeah, like you're gonna, you know, like what works for you, you know, like just. I think people think that when you're like a creative person that you always have the right answers and you know what you're supposed to be doing at all times. Like you're supposed to just come up with stuff all like this. It doesn't work that way, you know. Like I think you can train yourself. Like your creativity is like a muscle. Like if you can go in and like if you're always practicing, you're always working at it. Like you're gonna get better at it. And so you're gonna have that creative block happen less and less. It does happen. It always happens. Like I say, like once a week, I'm feeling like kind of like ugh. You know, like I don't want to be doing this because I'm not getting to something that looks good, but you got to just like persevere and just know that you will get to a solution and just be patient with it. Don't pull your hair out, you know. Should I do freelancing or enter a company if I become a graphic designer? I think you should do both. Like freelancing is awesome because you can choose who you want to work for, you know, like I think, and I don't have all the answers, guys. I'm not like, I'm just telling you what like I do in my life, but like I like to do work that I like to do, and I publish the work that I think is fun, so that when people reach out to me, it's because they see the style that I like. So like all this stuff is like stuff that I like to do. It's like sort of my style. Like if you look at Danny's website, look at all this stuff. It's very similar. It's very like cool and whimsical and fun and vibrant. Like people are going to come to him because of his style, because he's consistent with that look and feel. So I think if you're freelancing, try to do projects for free for a bit, or freelance for people that you know that like they're gonna like your style. It'll just kind of keep feeding itself. You'll just start getting hit up by people because like oh, like I'm gonna go to Mooney because she has this particular style and like I really dig that. You know, maybe some people are gonna like your style, but you're not gonna be working with them, so it doesn't really matter. But I think you should, like, I've worked at many companies. I still work at a company. I freelance and I work at a company. So I think that, yeah, do both, you know, get that money coming in on a steady paycheck and then freelance on the side too if you have to, you know, like hustle. How do I get gigs? Like I said, like word of mouth and just putting out constant work. YouTube has actually helped a bit. You know, I started the YouTube channel a year ago just as a way to do this, you know, like talk to people in the community, share my knowledge. You know, it kind of keeps you on top of your game because you have to constantly stay up to date with like industry trends and just things that are happening in the design community. So I think like just the fact that I put so much time towards teaching others for free, I think is huge. So people, they seem to, it's like credibility, you know, like they see where I'm spending my time, and my time is always like making YouTube videos and freelancing and then working and doing that sort of stuff. So I think that you can get gigs that way, you know. It's different for everybody. Be on LinkedIn. Like LinkedIn's a great way to you know, post content and like just keep up with other creative professionals. You know, like we started the meetup. We started a meetup here in San Diego for people that are creative. So we called it a visual. So it's like kind of like a happy hour, but like talking shop, you know, like just talking about creative things and you know, doing things like that, like just being involved in the design community. I think people are gonna like, you're gonna put yourself out there and people are gonna know who you are so that they can, you can get a lead, you know, like you're not gonna get a lead if people don't know you exist. So I think putting yourself out there, posting your work, even if it isn't perfect, you know, like post your process. Like I show a lot of stuff that's like half done and like I'm sketching ideas, you know. I'm starting my first year of visual communications this fall and I'm excited. That's awesome. All right, guys. Do we have any more questions? Because I'm kind of running out of things to talk about. I'm not that entertaining, I don't think so. But yeah, definitely get on Graphic Burger. This is a great resource for just like mock-ups, and most of these are free, you know, like people spent the time to like make these and they're free. What else? Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it, guys. Show you some cool stuff. Hopefully you guys got some value out of this. Yeah, I'm gonna go later. Well, not quite.